What's good, YouTube? Dmgaming here, Andre with the DM Network. Y'all, today I kind of want to talk about why or potentially why the game was pushed back and what does this mean going forward. But before we get into all of that, y'all, don't forget to follow me on these social media platforms. PlayStation ID is DMGaming5, Twitter at DMGaming5, Twitch at DMGaming06, and Instagram at the_DM_network. Also, you can follow us on Facebook at DMGaming06. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, y'all. I was looking at my analytics and it's saying about 63% of people that watch the videos aren't subscribed. Y'all, it really helps out my channel. It helps me to do something that I love doing. And it costs you nothing at all to simply click the subscribe button, man. Nobody's asking you for any money, no Patreon or anything like that. Just hit that sub button. Turn on that bell so you don't miss an upload and join that over 9,000 hype squad, man, because it's getting real. So I am going to get into some slides here in a minute with the new uploads, but I want to get something out real quick. I asked a question in the community the other day about doing some Q&A live streams and stuff like that with either Xenoverse or Fighters, and pretty much everybody chose fighters. So we are going to begin doing that. Please, please, please. This is why it's important to turn on notifications and follow me. Because if you follow me on Twitter, or you have the YouTube notifications on, things like that, I'm going to post when I'm going to stream. Also, I'm going to ask that question also, but I'll answer it here as well. Do y'all want to do the live streams on YouTube or Twitch? I really want to build up my Twitch following, so I'll probably end up doing them on Twitch. But if the majority of y'all don't have Twitch, you only have YouTube, then we'll of course have to stick with that or just kind of split it up. But anyway, so I'm gonna just go over the scans real quick because I didn't want to talk about them. There's really not much to talk about, but people have been asking me about them. So here you go. The HD scans, and really the one that most people are talking about. There's Frieza with the Destructo disc. And it looks like 100% Frieza. Looks like he's buffed up right there. So that's interesting as well. That's the one right here that a lot of people are talking about is Gohan, Krillin, and Dende with Dodoria. Looks like Dende is pretty concerned. Now we know that that's a cutscene, but people are kind of saying, okay, maybe there will be other playable characters in this game. I don't continue to touch on that. I've done a video on it. I've talked about it. I mean, if people ask, I'll say it, but I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. I don't see how Goku could possibly be the only playable character in this game. Now, where people get confused at is they think playable character is I could play the entire game as this character. No. Please go check out Legend of the Super Saiyan on Super Nintendo. You will see how it's done when Goku isn't around. Okay? Okay, so on with the video. Why was this game delayed? Nobody's asking that question. The game was set, even with the opening trailer, to be released in 2019, but has been pushed back to early 2020. But nobody is asking why the game was pushed back, why the game was delayed. I don't understand. I don't know if the people that do these interviews have a list of questions that they say, okay, I'm not gonna ask this question or that question. Because everybody, for the most part, is asking the same questions, and it seems like nobody's asking the right questions. I want to know too now, why was the game delayed? I don't think that it was anything as far as them just not being ready. I have my speculations, and this video is purely speculative. I kind of think that the game was delayed because I don't know, y'all. Look at this. Maybe the game was only gonna go to the Frieza saga, and because of all the feedback or rather backlash that people aren't going to like this game or get it if it only goes to the Frieza saga, that they was like, you know what, we were planning the other sagas for DLC, but let's go ahead and put them in the regular game. That's possible. And y'all, right now, I'm just going through all the possibilities that have ran through my head. Okay, I'm not saying that this is why, because I don't know why. That's possibly why. Number two, why, and I talked about it earlier in past videos, is that you have several Bandai Namco games releasing between now and the end of the year. And Code Vein is one of the games that they're kind of really prideful about. And releasing this game alongside that could potentially hurt the sales of Code Vein. So they were like, well, the Dragon Ball community, you know, we can push it back because they already released the release date for Code Vein and all that kind of stuff. So they may have pushed it back because of Code Vein. I don't know. Also, it could just simply be because they want to deliver us a better product. You know, anytime a game is pushed back, people tend to think the worst, but sometimes it's for the better. You know, there are loops or there are obstacles that have to be overcome to get a game pushed back and delayed. It has to be approved and things of that nature. The developer could say, look, I just want to deliver the best product possible. Please allow us more time to do that. You won't be disappointed. And it's up to Bandai. Bandai can say, no, the game needs to be ready by this date. But the fact that they allowed the release date to be pushed back, in my opinion, says a lot. Like I said, I don't think that it's anything negative. I don't think that the game just isn't ready or that they're having issues at CyberConnect 2 and things like that. The level of detail and the scope of this game, looking at it, I don't see how it was going to be released this year. The gamer inside of me wanting to play this game is like, man, get this game out. But when I look at it from a business standpoint, it just didn't make sense to release it this year, especially after seeing gameplay and all that the game has to offer. It's like, yeah, let's push this back to make sure that we get the best experience possible. Is there a chance that the game could potentially come out before next year? It's possible. The same way that the game got pushed back, it could get pushed forward. There's no official release date. So, and also for those of y'all who are going online, looking at like Best Buy and GameStop, looking at this March 31st release date, that's just another placeholder date. Anytime a publisher says the game is going to be released, if they said early 2020, they're going to set March 31st as the placeholder date because that is technically after March. It's no longer early 2020. It's more like mid 2020 or spring of 2020, something of that effect. So there's different time frames. If they say 2019, they don't give a date. They're going to put December 31st. If they say early 2020, they're going to put March 31st. If they say spring, then they're going to put May 31st. If they say summer, they're going to put August 31st. It's just a placeholder date. Doesn't mean that the game is coming out on that date. That just means after that date, it's no longer considered early 2020. Now, judging at how the other Dragon Ball games and other Bandai Namco anime titles have released, preferably the Dragon Ball games have to go with those. I would say the game is set to release anywhere in January, no later than February. I don't see us getting this game in March, but anything's possible. When we talked about release dates early on, we did talk about that in Bandai's release date for Dragon Ball games. Normally November-ish, if not that, then January-ish, February, somewhere in there. But I'm hoping that the game is just that they get ahead of schedule and we get it November or even December. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that they are really just going to let them, okay, we've got the release date extension, so let's stick with that. But like I said, the big question is why? Why was the game pushed back? Could it have been because of that? Because the game they wanted to add more into the game. They haven't spoken anything about DLC. The thing that I feel about DLC is that they did DLC with fighters. They did it with Xenoverse, so it could very well be done with this. And then the question goes, well, what's going to be DLC? Is it going to be movie characters? And I'm going to do a video about things that we have confirmed in the game because I'm still seeing a ton of comments about stuff like the gear, the movie characters, the playable characters, and things like that. So look out for a video about that coming up as well. But that's if I had to go with one of those theories, I would have to say that's possibly what it was, is that maybe they didn't plan on going past the Frieza saga as far as the regular game goes. Maybe they were going to do that as DLC, but because of everything that's going on, they were like, you know what, we need to go ahead and put this in the game because it could affect sales of the game. But part of me also don't believe that because even in January, they were showing Frieza. So that part of the game has been done. I think what it is that they're really just working on the rest of the game and the mechanics and how we're going to play with other characters, how all of this is going to work out. And you have to think too, they're working along with Akira Toriyama on this with the lore and things like that, and they're doing the side quests and just seeing how big the map is and the different locations for Earth alone. Y'all, this is a massive, massive game, and if we're talking about download size, this game is going to be at least, I don't see how this game is anything less than a 50 gigabyte download. And it's a single player game and I'm super excited for it, y'all. But I just, for the life of me, would really like to know why was it pushed back? You know, it could just, like I said, be something as simple as, hey, we just want to make sure that we're giving you the best content possible, which is a very real possibility because like I said before, the game is extremely detailed. There is so much detail in this game, even in the screenshots and the trailers and the gameplay alone. It is extremely detailed, like to the T, you know. So that could very well be it. Also looking at the boss fights and how mechanically sound they are, you know, that stuff takes time, and it's just one of those things. So will we ever know the truth as to why the game is taking so long, or why why it's taking so long, but why it was pushed back? I don't think we'll ever really know that because nobody's asking that question. Bandai, I don't think they watch this channel. They need to watch this channel. Y'all tweet Bandai, hashtag over 9,000 Hype Squad to come watch the channel. But that's something, like I said, that I don't think we will find out. Fingers crossed that it comes out, that they actually get ahead of schedule and it comes out ahead. But the fact that it was supposed to be a 2019 release and it got pushed back to early 2020 leads me to believe that the initial release date was probably more around November-ish. So I don't know, but y'all, I don't know where to go with this. Y'all see the screenshot, y'all see Buff Frieza sitting there, 100% Frieza. So let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Why do you think that the game was pushed back, and why haven't they said anything about it, y'all? That's all I got for right now. Like I said, stay tuned for that video about the unanswered, well, not unanswered questions, but basically a follow-up video with this one that's going to talk more about what we know so far, so we can kind of stop getting those repetitive questions, y'all. But that's all I got for right now. Till next time, thanks for watching.